The tension at King Charles's crowning feast increased when Princess Anne did something bold that astonished everyone, even King Charles. Anne ended her stay by telling Queen Camilla, "You're not a queen, you're a queen's consort." It was a forthright statement that revealed their long-hidden rift. But may Camilla and Anne's animosity spread to other royals? Does it make sense? Past conflict between Anne and Camilla? Anne and Camilla have had a strained relationship for years. Before becoming king, his connection with Camilla Parker Bowles caused royal family and British people much trouble. Anne, however, is highly family-oriented, so she didn't like it from the start. Charles and Camilla's relationship was difficult. The people believed his marriage to Princess Diana would secure the royal family's future. It was love and scandal that cost him his marriage. Like many of her family, Anne felt these demands. She never changed her mind about duty and devotion coming first. This established her bond with Camilla. Kate and Anne were born around the same time, but were completely different. Princess Anne learned that honor is everything. She emulated her mother, Queen Elizabeth II. She was disciplined from a young age to meet royal standards. She still practices loyalty, service, and privacy. She was one of the monarchy's most faithful supporters since she worked hard and didn't tolerate garbage. Family relies on her. She was known for her efforts to preserve royal customs, and rarely alters her role. Camilla, however, joined the royal family later and performs her role differently. Anne, who had lived under public scrutiny her whole life, knew more about the royal family than Camilla. The schism between Charles and Diana hampered her arrival. Charles adored Camilla's friendship and loyalty, but their past made her an unusual royal choice. Camilla became a princess with previous image. Anne considered Camilla's former relationship with Charles and its issues differed from royal values. Anne maintained the monarchy's honor in various ways. She prioritized responsibility over her personal happiness to maintain the family's history. Anne thought Camilla's royal status contradicted these values. Her ideology of unwavering allegiance and a quiet public image made it impossible for her to accept an outsider. Although Camilla supported Charles and the monarchy, Anne's first impression of her was influenced by years of scandal and public scrutiny. Over time, Anne and Camilla's differences became apparent. Anne thought standing out for right and wrong was crucial. However, Camilla felt less accountable for royal things, and Anne didn't grasp her royal duty. They approached public appearances differently. Due to her consistent demeanor, Anne was generally seen as serious and concentrated. Camilla, on the other hand, was peaceful and playful. Lots of people admired her kind, friendly side. It also made Anne more certain that Camilla lacked the queen consort's typical restraint. Their tension increased gently over time. Despite their public friendliness, insiders recognized that the two women were not close. Anne rarely expressed her affection for Camilla, and when she did, she followed royal protocol. Camilla rose in the family slowly. However, Anne constantly objected. She couldn't accept her sister-in-law since she was religious. Even when Camilla's reputation improved, Anne's didn't. Anne wanted more than popularity. It was about defending the monarchy and royal family values like her mother did for decades. Since Camilla was becoming more famous and close to Charles, Anne fretted that the family was abandoning traditional values. After Queen Elizabeth died, Anne and Camilla diverged. These long-standing issues became apparent after King Charles III was crowned. Anne believed Queen Elizabeth had breached her promise by making Camilla queen. Anne thought it insulted her mother's hard-earned tradition. Queen Elizabeth always knew Camilla would be a supporter, not an equal. No matter how tiny the title change, Anne thought they broke the bargain. That made her feel like her mother's desires were neglected. The crowning allowed Anne to finally discuss their quarrel with Camilla. She remained calm for years. She kept her thoughts to herself, but now she needed to preserve her family's heritage. Anne's daring statement at the coronation supper, "You're not a queen, you're a queen's consort," was more than a title change. Her words revealed her anger. She wished to preserve the monarchy's customs against unnecessary alterations. The rift between Anne and Camilla was clear. Charles wondered how these familial issues would affect his reign. The question persisted: how could he balance these ideals while maintaining his family and public respect? Remembering Elizabeth and Anne's vow, Queen Elizabeth II had a strong sense of history and a definite monarchy future plan. She taught her children duty, loyalty, and security from an early age and governed for 70 years. She was always conservative but strong on government. An organization with hundreds of years of traditions and beliefs struck her as a sign of stability in a changing world. Queen Elizabeth carefully considered the crown's destiny and roles. It was hard to understand her. Queen Elizabeth carefully considered making Camilla queen consort instead of queen. It was largely done to obey royal protocol and avoid her son's marital issues. Elizabeth had to balance the royal family for years, notably with Camilla, because to her relationship with Prince Charles. Even though she knew Camilla's title would be controversial, the queen made her ambitions apparent. She supported her as Prince Charles's wife but did not crown her queen. Elizabeth's choice demonstrated her care. On the 70th anniversary of her coronation, Queen Elizabeth said Camilla should be queen. The Queen stated in February 2022, "It is my sincere wish that when that time comes, Camilla will be known as Queen Consort as she continues her own loyal service." Camilla should support Charles, not share power. This divergence caught royal watchers' attention, because it fit royal partners' historic functions in the British monarchy. Through history, the monarchy has clearly defined the consort function. This distinction does not grant full ruling authority. Prince Philip was Prince Consort under Elizabeth II. When she married King George VI, Queen Elizabeth's mother was designated Queen Consort, showing that consorts are remained subordinate to the monarch despite sharing public appearances and official duties. Queens and queen spouses differ more than they appear. It greatly affects rank and power. Because of their birthright, queen regnants like Elizabeth II have sovereign rights. This empowers her to govern. A queen spouse only attends ceremonies. Elizabeth wanted Camilla to be queen consort and followed this command, making sure everyone knows their monarchy role. Princess Anne understood her mother's perspective better than most. She felt Queen Elizabeth's desires were holy and would guide her family after her mother's death. As the Queen's only daughter, Anne felt obligated to defend her mother's values. As a blood princess, she remained loyal to the crown over her personal desires and trends. Anne respected the monarchy's history by respecting her mother's wishes for Camilla's title. The title queen was not randomly supplied or adapted. It took generations of service and a deep commitment to the monarchy. Anne supported her mother's career in many ways. Queen Elizabeth promised to follow her lifelong ideals. To preserve the institution's honor, the late queen always set her own tastes aside. Anne followed this technique. Camilla's coronation altered that. Anne struggled to embrace the change. Anne's concern grew as the election approached and Camilla's chances of becoming queen increased. Because she obeyed her mother, she was different from her brothers. She realized that not everyone in her family agreed with her as the coronation approached. Anne grew even more determined to safeguard her mother's name as she watched Charles's coronation. Her role became evident as stress increased. She wouldn't stay silent while her mother's name altered. Truth was revealed at the crowning. The values her mother taught her enabled her face Camilla in that vital moment. Anne believed in a line that could not be crossed and a value worth standing up for, even if it meant going against Camilla and being the bravest royal. The palace explanation as King Charles' coronation approached, the palace announced that Camilla would become queen, a little but significant difference. As Charles began his reign, royal sources thought this change was appropriate. The palace claimed that Queen Consort was used to minimize confusion after Queen Elizabeth died. When Camilla was crowned, the palace called her Queen Camilla, emphasizing her status as King Charles' wife. Camilla's title change follows a historical trend. British kings' wives have long been called queens. After King George VI died, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, preserved the title Queen Elizabeth as numerous queen consorts had done before her. This has happened before. The title Queen Consort has been used during periods of change to clarify, however, queen is normally used for consorts. Queen Mary, who married George V and was queen during Queen Elizabeth II's reign, was nicknamed the Queen Mother to avoid confusion with Elizabeth. A queen consort who assists the queen regnant has always been distinguished from one who rules alone. Like her predecessors, Camilla calls herself queen as a consort, not a ruler. The change is tiny yet significant. Queen Elizabeth II was a queen regnant since she was the head of state and had power from her father, King George VI. The palace maintains Queen Camilla's role is more honorary and supporting, in line with British consort traditions. Another long-standing controversy is why Camilla became queen but Prince Philip never became king. People think being king is powerful and usually passed down from parent to child. This is for the ruler only. Queen Elizabeth did not crown Prince Philip king. He was named Duke of Edinburgh instead. Elizabeth made him prince in 1957 with a letters patent. She did not crown him king. Kings are more important than queens in traditional civilizations. It would have made Elizabeth's rule unfair. Philip's consortship supported Elizabeth's rule without undermining it. The royal family changed Camilla's coronation ceremony to balance tradition and innovation. Camilla blessed publicly, while Charles blessed privately. She received Queen Mary's crown. Buckingham Palace called the crowning adjustments simplifications. They were aimed to maintain the ceremony's majesty while modernizing it. Camilla only carried the queen consort's cross scepter and dove stick to prove her status. These goods represented her supportive role, not Charles's kingship. The palace's decision to anoint Camilla queen balances tradition with the modern royal landscape. Anne did complicated things to make sure everyone knew their place. Coronation problems and bravery. At the crowning supper, folks chatted. Anne watched as family and significant people hugged Camilla, now queen. Camilla entered the chamber when the coronation and her new job were discussed. Anne's voice conveyed her passion. As she faced Camilla, her voice broke through the chatter. In her speech, she left little space for doubt. The room quieted. There was startled quiet instead of cheerful banter and laughter. Camilla looked hurt after being shocked. She quickly glanced at Charles. Anne's statements upset someone and highlighted familial turmoil. Anne didn't despise Camilla, she wanted what was right. It was obvious King Charles was stunned. He struggled to gain public recognition of their marriage and Camilla's role in the household. The journey was difficult. Queen Elizabeth's vow to the people came to mind with Anne's comments, a vow that Camilla would assist him rather than play the same role. Honoring that commitment was key to Charles' attempt to regain public trust. He now had to choose between staying loyal to his wife and pleasing his mother. The mood remained strained during supper. Charles occasionally glances at Anne, maybe considering how her actions may impact the monarchy. He saw that her public dedication to custom may resonate with British people who respected Queen Elizabeth. He respected Anne's loyalty but equally valued his connection with Camilla. He saw it as more than a decision between custom and change. To balance, you have to listen to and value both sides. Charles reportedly thought about himself in the days that followed. This reminded him that he would have to balance tradition and modernity throughout his leadership. Views on Camilla's title. The choice to proclaim Camilla queen instead of queen consort drew mixed reactions. It reveals how divided people are between royal traditionists and change seekers. Many believe that only those born into the line of succession can be dubbed queen. After her death, Queen Elizabeth played this role for over 70 years. Traditionalists saw more than words between queen and queen consort. Role and legacy were clearly explained. Queen Elizabeth originally intended queen consort to indicate a helpful partnership, not an equal claim to the throne. These folks recalled their own concerns about change after Anne's daring move at the crowning dinner. Many people acknowledged Camilla's status as queen. It seemed like her next step and a way to show how much she had assisted King Charles. Camilla has proven her loyalty to Charles, according to many. She helped him with personal and social issues. Camilla's popularity has grown over time. She recovered from her relationship with Charles and joined the royal family. Fans value queenhood because it displays her dedication and ability to help Charles. The monarchy's history illustrates that it may alter and grow, representing tradition and progress. The media have also affected people's emotions. Many news sites discuss Camilla's transformation from royal outsider to insider. This anecdote shows her strength, someone who has been attentively watched but has worked hard for Charles. Many think she deserves this title. Their evidence is her philanthropic activities, dedication to domestic abuse awareness, and quiet yet constant presence. They view Camilla's new title as a seal of her identity and service to the crown. Camilla sees being queen as a reward for her years of service. Even with greater acceptability, she knows people question her and expect more from her because of her rank. She has struggled, and since others learned of her association with Charles, they have looked down on her. Some still associate her with prior scandals. Camilla sees this title as a chance to show she supports Charles and the nation. She knows not everyone will accept her title, and Queen Elizabeth's memory is important. She knows many people, especially Anne, want her to remain queen spouse. She wants her own way, even if it means facing criticism from family and the public. Camilla considers queenship an honor and a duty. She believes her years of devotion to Charles earned her the distinction. She supports their shared views. The contemporary kingdom Anne and William envisioned. Princess Anne has stated that she does not want Camilla to be queen, but she shares Prince William's forward-thinking throne plan. William seems to dislike Camilla's new title. Anne and William believe contemporary government doesn't entail abandoning traditions. It should be altered to respect the monarchy's ideals and be practical. Anne wants the royal institution to be more efficient, serve better, and have a clearer mission. This fits William's future rule plans. Anne believed a modern monarchy would connect with the people and present the family as a symbol of security and service. Anne's support for this move reflects her realism and lifelong dedication to public service. Anne agrees with her mother that the government should be a model of stability. It should always benefit those it assists. Over time, she's observed William's methods resemble hers. Anne believes William is the best heir since he's both traditional and modern. She agrees with William on certain things, but Camilla's title worries her since it makes it harder for the government to uphold traditional values. Anne is close to William in many ways. They have formed a strategic collaboration to improve their monarchy notion. They have discussed strategies to keep the royal family out of the public glare and focus on their most critical activities while limiting royal employment. This connection is built on Anne's practicality and William's authenticity. Both are committed to a framework that reflects Queen Elizabeth's values. They collaborate while honoring the past and accepting change. Each wants a government that serves the people. Anne believes her bond with William will bring the royal family forward. William admires Anne's intelligence and regal duty. He understands she provides family security, someone whose work exemplifies honesty, humility, and leadership. William and Anne connect the family's past and present. They've discussed methods to simplify royal events and emphasize ones that establish actual ties and raise awareness of British causes. Everyone in the royal family will recall Princess Anne and Queen Camilla's tension. And the monarchy's evolving identity. Anne's public statements highlight how difficult it is for the administration to balance its lengthy history with progress. Anne, Camilla, and King Charles' interactions reflect this delicate balancing act, which will affect how people view the royal family and their unity. Anne and Camilla may never get along, but the government may go forward if they can accept one another's differences. Anne dating Prince William proves that royals may mix tradition and modernity. Charles must find ways to keep his family together while honoring their interests. Getting over these issues allows the royal family to evolve and maintain its prestige in a new era. Think the royals can get along again? Submit your suggestions below. Please explain. We're leaving. See you next film.